to make sure all of them are on. So let's go ahead and do the countdown now. All right, peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I'm here with my guest, Demetri Chambers. He's an attorney at law. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves, and I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself first. I'm gonna let my guests go ahead and have the floor, and then we'll go from there. Real quickly, so if it's just your first time tuning in, it's the Power of Ownership podcast. We talk about just ownership in general, not just about home ownership, but ownership in general, businesses, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started. If you hadn't seen me before, my name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I'm a mortgage broker as well as a luxury agent as well now. So if you want to get in touch with me, my website is www.applywithb. You can book me for a consultation, or you can go ahead and apply for a mortgage right then and there. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. So go ahead, like, subscribe, follow me, so on and so forth. And you can call me 24/7, 832-775-8357. As long as it's about business, I'm ready to serve you. I got my guests here. I've been knowing them for quite a while, and I finally get them here and on the show here. Demetri Chambers. You go by Esquire. What do you go by?
Just Demetri Chambers. Yes.
Gotcha. Go ahead and tell them, introduce yourself, tell them where they can find you, your social media, the whole nine. Plug everything.
Okay. My name is Demetri Chambers. I'm a business attorney. I've been practicing since 1992. So It's going on 32 years now. Primarily business law, but I have a very broad practice. I've been in a partnership with my partner, Kenneth Walker. We've been partners since 1996, and we've been doing business law for the whole time. Kenneth runs our Dallas office. We have two offices. Kenneth manages our Dallas office, and I manage our Houston office. And we've got clients all over the state of Texas. And we have some clients that we serve in other states where we hire local counsel for the local legal work, and then we work under their license. So we've done that, both federal and state court matters. Gotcha. And we had a joy of practicing law. You can reach me in Houston at 832-925-8337. If you Google me, Demetri Chambers, as it's spelled here, you'll probably find any information you need about me. Website is walkerchambersaltogether.com. That's simple.
Gotcha.
So I'm a partner at Walker and Chambers. Yes.
What about social media? Where can they find you on social media?
LinkedIn, you can find me there. I write I do a lot of videos on LinkedIn. I like to talk about ways of avoiding litigation and better ways of managing your contracts. Believe it or not, if you have a business, you're probably going to save yourself from a lot of legal headaches if you understand your contracts and the contracts you sign. For example, a commercial lease. If you understand that document before you sign it, and if it says what you need it to say, you're probably going to avoid all types of headaches, both legal and business.
Right. Yes. Gotcha. So yeah, let's go. So you guys got his information, where you can find him. You got to realize the importance of business attorneys. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but first, why did you choose law? Like, what's your reason for Why did you choose that particular field? Like, which of all things you could have done,
Yes.
why was law your calling?
Okay. It's a good question for this point in my life. My mother passed away back in September.
Oh, sorry.
Um, but when I was about 4 years old, I was sitting on the couch with her,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad was getting dressed to go to work. He was putting on a shirt, and I asked my mother, "Will I wear a shirt like that
Right.
when I get big and when I go to work?" And
Right.
my mother told me, "You're gonna wear a tie with your shirts. You're
Right.
gonna have a coat, a suit jacket, and a tie, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the way you'll go to work." I didn't know what she meant then, but what she was telling me is you're going to be doing some very important work.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was 4, about the age of 7, maybe 9. She introduced me to a gentleman who wasn't even a lawyer yet. He was in law school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember her shaking his hand and her telling him, she calls me Demi.
Mm-hmm.
She says, Demi is going to be a lawyer one day.
Gotcha. So she already had it mapped out for you.
Yes. And so
Uh,
by the time I got to high school, I started really enjoying arguing and analyzing and making my points. And before you know it, I claimed it. I'm going to be a lawyer.
gotcha. So you just kind of it already was kind of preordained, and you
Yes.
just kind of rocked in from there. Just kind of filled in from there.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. So you say you've been in the business since what 1996? So it's almost what 30 years right now. So what would you say is kind of your niche? Besides, I know it's business, but are you strictly working with on developing businesses, or are you working with this contractual law? Like, what's your fine line like niche? Like, who do you cater to?
Small to mid-sized business owners
Mm-hmm.
is my sweet spot. If you own, not manage, because sometimes someone else is owning the business. If you
Right.
own the business and you call the shots from a small business to a mid-sized business, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And because most of the time, those are the ones who go home at night and worry about did they make the right decisions that day and have to get up in the morning and make the right decisions. I'm just a member of their team
Mm-hmm.
who helps them make the right decision. In fact, all business gets down to making the right decisions day
Mm-hmm.
in and day out. Hopefully, you get to a point where you have systems that
Mm-hmm.
where the decisions have already been made to get the right result. But
Right.
ultimately, business from the time you start it to the time you pass it on, sell it, whatever, it's basically gets down to waking up every day and making wise decisions and knowing who to call. I'm just one member. You may have a CPA, a
Mm-hmm.
banker, a mortgage broker, all types of people that help you make those decisions.
Right. Right. Gotcha. Now, in your field, let me ask you this: where do you see, since your niche is small time, smaller business owners or small to medium business owners, with the current climate, with the actual economy where it's at, where and if we're not in recession right now, we're on the verge of recession. Where do you see your business within the next year? Let's say this year. I mean, this time next year, 2024, and then expand on that. What do you see it 5 years from now? So immediate future. I know next year's the election year. Everybody's penny pinching right now. What do you see your business like in the next year, and then expand on that to the next 5 years?
I I see significant growth,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'll tell you, I think it's broader than what I've seen over the last year or so. As I look back, see, I can go back to, um, well, you might remember the savings and loans crisis in
Mm-hmm.
the early '90s, and
A
then
little
when
bit
tech.
before my time, and I kind of, I kind of remember what you're talking about.
Okay, then I
Right.
go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a paper in law school about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get out of law school, start my career around 92. And then we were, you might remember, Texas had changed the law so that you could basically get second mortgage. You can get cash out of your house. So,
Texas 58-6.
yes. So I
Yeah.
remember all the legal work that came out of that.
Mm-hmm.
9/11, it got tough. Um, Lots of
Mm-hmm.
business had some hard times.
Mm-hmm.
We had COVID and a bunch of things. What I'm seeing now, and I'm seeing a lot of this just with the court systems,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of time that it's taking to resolve a dispute, it seems like it's gotten more complicated,
Mm-hmm.
more challenges, and people are more frantic. I think the age of electronics where people have gotten used to, there are some kids now who probably don't remember a time in their life where they didn't have a phone in their hands or a computer in front of them.
Right.
And so I think that's complicated things. It's speeded up things, and people aren't taking as much time to develop relationships and the kinds of things that drive businesses and drive employment. So I think I'm going to be busy for a little
Right.
while.
Right. So you
So
just saying this because of how frantic the climate is right now.
yes, yes.
Gotcha. What about the next 5 years? So all right, so that's 2024. I know an election year is coming up next year. What do you see, up to 2029? Like do you fear AI is going to have any effect on your business? Like you got the law www.getanattorney.com or whatever,
Okay.
everybody's going virtual, you got these pay, I remember back early 2000s you had the MLM with the law, prepaid law. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you you think that has any effect on your business at all, or that's just a sector that's more of criminal or wills or all the quick stuff?
No, I can go back to before there was a Google. So
Mm-hmm.
before there was Google, when Google showed up, sure, a lot of people will go out and Google a certain form.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how much business I've got from person goes out, get a Google form,
Mm-hmm.
sign it, and something goes wrong.
Right.
I have, this is just my opinion. Other lawyers may say differently.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of times where it's taken longer to fix a problem when a person without the aid of an attorney went and got something from Google.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes certain basic words I'll say, so what was your plan when you put this clause in your contract?
Mm-hmm.
They won't even know what that meant.
Right.
And a lot of times it's something that hurts them more than helps them. So I think that's probably what's going to happen with AI as well. A seasoned attorney up
Mm-hmm.
against AI, I think it's going to be a tough challenge. Sure, it writes very well. So if you're talking about clarity, if you tell AI, if you write a sentence and
Mm-hmm.
you say, now write this, make it shorter, it will do that. If
Mm-hmm.
you tell it, make it longer or make it more legal sounding, it will do that.
Right.
But there's nothing to substitute.
Right. So you said basically after they step in it,
Yes.
then you'll double back and make
Yes.
sure to get out of it. So you got more people, and of course you're talking about Chad and Bard and all those that you could, all right, write me a document between such and such and such and such, and then within seconds you got a document, as opposed to needing an attorney having to build up like 2 hours or whatever. You could do it
Yes.
in 30 seconds now. So you saying that, all right, I'm gonna go switch for the next 5 years. My outlook is like, I know people are gonna want convenience, but when you need this litigated or after something goes wrong, then I'll go ahead and market to that particular niche.
Yes.
You got what you're saying? So it's kind of after they step in it, like.
Well, I think I may be wrong, but this is what I saw with Google.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Google. I don't want to pay for a lawyer. You go to Google,
mm-hmm.
and sure, Google will give you a form and you
Right.
sign it, 5 years from now, when you fall out with that person you had a contract with, and now it's in court, and you go to your lawyer and you took that contract to your lawyer and you say, this is what we signed 5 years ago. And the
Mm-hmm.
lawyer goes to page 6, where you agreed to an indemnification term. And
Mm-hmm.
you ask the client, what was your thinking when you signed, when you added this clause to your contract?
Mm-hmm.
They say that was just a legally that was in the document. I thought it was just boilerplate language.
Right.
And now you got to live and die by it. The
Right.
whole business may be sitting on, and I'm not kidding. I've had cases where a client almost lost their business
Mm-hmm.
because there was an indemnification clause in there that they didn't think about when they signed the contract.
Right. Right. So this not you going in there, you're not knowing what you're doing, and
Right.
you're trying to let's say uh change a tire by watching a YouTube
Yes.
video, you know, and
Because
it's a little
AI will give you those terms. If
right.
you told AI to draft me a contract, a standard contract that does X, well, if
Mm-hmm.
that contract normally has an indemnification clause, it may include that clause for you. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you know what that clause means, and it doesn't mean that you know what business decision you are making. And I
Right.
tell clients all the time, every clause in a contract has business risks to it.
Gotcha.
And you got to know some things you need to take the whole clause out
Right.
because it's a risk that you can't afford to take.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Next question. I'm gonna twist it just a little bit, you know, because mainly a lot of people that watch me has like you know, they're realtors and in a real estate business. Would your services include, you know, because a lot of people have these teams, mega teams, and you know, a lot of realtors have their own business. They're basically 1099 or basically they're private contractors. Should a realtor or somebody that's trying to get into a real estate business or even a real estate investor, should they seek your services?
I, it's my recommendation, and this is not selfish. My
Right.
recommendation that everybody who owns a business should should at least know one business attorney. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean you have to hire them, and it doesn't mean that you got to put them on retainer. But
Mm-hmm.
you need to know one business attorney that when you pick up a phone and call them, they answer. You when you
Mm-hmm.
call me, you notice I always answer your call or call
Right.
you back. So now let's talk about the question you asked. What about real people in the real estate world?
Yeah.
First,
Real estate world. Yeah.
the realty world. Um, most real realtors, they your real estate license allows you to do a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do without that license.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into complex real estate contracts or
Mm-hmm.
complex deals, you probably should have an attorney that you can call and ask questions. That's from the realtor standpoint. Real estate investors, I think they all need attorneys because when I looked at the real estate investment documents,
Mm-hmm.
I've scratched my head a lot of times because a lot of times they will get those documents from someone who didn't get advice from an attorney, and it might make sense to a layperson, but it makes no sense to a lawyer. And defending you on that is a lot tougher if you bring it to me after you've signed it and things have fallen apart.
Right. 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 So, question. Let's point it a little bit different as well because we got two, three more questions. Then I get you out of here. You know, I know we got about 10 more minutes here. I don't want to keep you overtime.
Oh, I'm
Um,
fine. I'm having fun.
right. Right. So I know you know your small business is your thing. So what? Let's keep on the future tip because I always, you know, from my mentor Mattress Mac, he always told me to look forward. So I'm a forward thinking individual. I know we've had off the record conversation. You can see I'm very very forward thinking. So
Yes.
how would you market your business now? Like how would you like market going forward with everybody's kind of in this microwave popcorn type and Amazon Uber Eats mentality where it's fast. When you're talking attorneys and reading over stuff, and it's slow. So how do you, with the world going this way, how do you market it and the world's going speeding up?
Uh, Fortunately for me, and I was worried about that for a long time. In my career, I was worried about, am I doing enough? Um, am I doing enough LinkedIn posts? Am I am I getting enough content out there?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good, but for me, how do I market my business? The main thing, and this is what I try to do when I'm training my team, do very good legal work. So
Mm-hmm.
you you really need to do, and it's part of our mission statement, excellent work.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other thing is provide very good customer service. So
Right.
I I make a major effort not to let any phone calls get past me for one day. So if you
Right.
call me today, I make the best effort to call you back today and to
Right.
be very in sync with the client. I run a client centered law firm so that I really make the best effort to solve the client's problem. And what that has done is people talk. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you're in a jam and you need an attorney, you call 10 attorneys and you never could get the lawyer on the phone,
Right.
that's where that call to me makes a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So you old school bedside manner, personal touch,
Yes.
word of
Yes.
mouth. That's your game plan. I mean, that's smart because as technology grows and grows, and AI gets more and more predominant in what we do, you still can't beat the human touch. You still can't beat somebody
No.
laughing at the jokes. You still can't beat somebody remembering your kid's name. You still can't
Yes.
remember, remembering that this person's a Saints fan, so on and so forth. AI is not going to do that. At least not now. They're not
Not-
not genuinely as
yes.
they ain't got that good yet. So
Yes.
but two more questions before I get you out of here. This one is kind of very open. So of all the attorneys, you mentioned Google a couple times that you could Google and they got hundreds of them pop up, and you got LinkedIn, you got hundreds of them, and especially in this area, it's saturated. So why should they go with you if you're
Oh, well,
a small business person looking for an attorney? Why Demetri Chambers?
okay. First of all, I know that I am not a good fit for everybody. And
Mm,
so I only want people that I can add value to. So why me? If you've got a legal problem that you really want
mm,
a seasoned attorney to help you on, then I'm probably a good fit for you. If you just want to put a band-aid on something or you just want to buy time, you'll find out very quickly that I'm probably not going to be a good fit. I know that what I do is expensive for most people,
mm,
so I cannot afford to just be throwing rocks at things. And it's very easy for an attorney, very easy to act like, look like he knows what he's doing, and
mm,
boast and beat the table and sound strong and tough. Legal work is hard work.
mm,
I'm committed to doing that hard work, and I'm only going to do it for people who feel like I could be of added value. If
mm,
the client herself can't see the added value, because I try to deliver. Let me just say it this way: I
mm,
understand that a lot of what we do, a person just doesn't. You can't see it all, but
mm,
I want the client to walk away and feel like I got added value for that. That's the only kind of clients I want to help.
mm. Gotcha. So you
So
you you service a very very niche market, like people that feel like I said that basically you want somebody to hold your hand through the process. You're the guy.
well,
You
I
know.
want people to be able to be, um, when things go wrong, they know, call Demetri, and here's why you called him.
Hmm.
Not just because he's a lawyer, not just because he has a law degree, but I know I'm supposed to call him for this.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, just to read the comments before we get to the last question. You know, the last question is always a fun question. John King on LinkedIn questions commented. I guess is more of a comment than a question. He said you need 3 to 4 honest attorneys and specializations because the specializations vary. Would you agree with that?
Well, I didn't quite hear it.
John King on LinkedIn said you need 3 to 4 honest attorneys and that specializations vary. You know, so he's like, you don't need. I guess he's saying you need more than one attorney. You need 3 or 4.
Well, I have gone up against large law firms, massive law firms, legal departments. Here's my message to him: you do need a team. Whether they all need to be attorneys, that's another question. Here's a secret that a lot of people don't know, because you hear people say, I got 50 lawyers on my to throw at a problem. But guess what? There's usually just one leader and there's one mindset. And and that's normally how that case is going to go. I've never had a case where there's actually 50 lawyers working on the same case. That's rare. And it's very expensive.
Right. Well, you said in different specializations, so I guess you say you may need one business, one real estate, one.
Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So one, different specializations. What he's saying. I got one other one from LinkedIn. It said business is about relationships and post effective, but not. Wait, hold on. Business is about relationships and post effective, but raw content in the proper at the proper time. So let me read this one more time. Business is about relationships and post effective but raw content at the proper time. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess I can understand the first part. Business is definitely about relationships. That's what
I definitely agree with. I think that's going to be one of the biggest challenges over the next 5 to 10 years. And I say this because I put together a lot of partnerships. Putting together the right team and knowing how to do that is going to be critical. Yeah.
Right. Last question, one for the road. So, if money was no object, and we both live in Houston here, what would be, because don't forget, this is real estate based. If money was no object, top 3 places and why that you would move to? If money was no object, top 3 neighborhoods in the Houston area or surrounding areas that you would move to if money was no object, and why?
Where I'm living right now, I'm
well, you have to put your address, but general area.
I'll tell you, I am right across the street from the Astros Stadium, Minute Maid Park, basically cut a corner.
Right, so you're downtown.
Downtown Houston, in a luxury apartment.
Right.
It's lovely. I love it. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right. I used to live downtown when I first moved back to Houston. It's great for if you want everything. You don't really need a car for everything, but it is like I said, the traffic is crazy though.
Yes.
So
it gets kind of loud sometimes. Yes.
Right. So what's number 2 and number 3?
Okay, number 2. There's some nice areas over in the Heights that I like.
So you would move too far. So the Heights is like right up the street, really. So the Heights would be second.
Yes.
And why?
Because it's walkable.
Gotcha.
And I lived there for a while, and it was just a nice area to live in. We downsized it. We didn't need as much space, and we wanted to be where we can walk to a more easier walk to restaurants.
Gotcha. It's accessibility to everything.
Yes.
All right, and what's your last one?
Last one is Los Cabos, Mexico.
No, Houston area.
Oh, Houston area.
Right. Well, some of them are like some spots we go to might be like Mexico.
You're right.
Depending on where you go.
I've seen some nice luxury apartments in the Woodlands, on riverfronts, lakefront type apartments. That would probably be where I would be. Yes.
Okay, the Woodlands. Yeah, that's a nice area as well. The Woodlands up north. For people that's
Yes,
watching us that's not familiar with the area, is more of north. And in fact, didn't a lawyer start the Woodlands? Wasn't he a lawyer?
I thought so. I think
Yeah.
so.
So, all right, man. I definitely appreciate you coming by, stopping by, blessing us on the podcast. I want to invite you as well if you want to sit on the panel tomorrow night. We're talking real estate. That's going to be at 7:30 p.m. So I'll send you a link if you want to sit on that panel. We're going to talk a little in your wheelhouse. We're going to talk about getting proper representation, business as far as a realtor and stuff like that, and investing. And what should you do to be on your P's and Q's if you're an investor in real estate? Which I think most business people, even if you're whatever you do, you should have something in real estate. Even if you're in retail, why not own the spot that you're in? You should be into real estate investment, even if you're a retail merchant. So I think we should all have real estate portfolio. Period. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit tomorrow night on We're Talking Real Estate. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by. And then if you want, I'll go ahead and send you a link after we get off the show,
Please do.
so you can share on your social media, so on and so forth. So
Please.
tell them one more time where they can find you.
I'm at Demetri Chambers. So you can Google me, Demetri Chambers, Demetri Chambers. Website is walkerchambers.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me also on LinkedIn, and our office number is 832-925-8337. And if you just want to get me directly, here's my cell number, 972-839-6125. Thank you.
Got it. All right, and we definitely appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
See you next
Peace.
time.
Peace.
Peace.